It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, this is an entertainment-focused, sometimes cryptocurrency show that we do on Sundays, unlike our Monday through Friday show, live from Big Rob's house here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know why I was about to say Las Vegas, California. Anyways, man, what a day today, man. The heat is finally shedding off here in Las Vegas. It's not quite as hot. I am so juiced up today. Like, you're gonna get some heat. If you're new to this segment, not too much crypto, I'll be honest with you. A lot more Q&A, a lot more inward thinking, self-motivation, improvement, get your shit right kind of mentality, right? Because hey, if everything's a mess in your life, yeah, but you ain't gonna have extra capital on the side of the DCA, or at least not enough. So we're trying to figure out, hey, how do we make more money? How do we keep more money? And how do we just get a better attitude in general in life? Like, let's rehome things in. Sunday's a great day to evaluate your progress and to plan your week, because hey, it's the end of the week. What I do good? What did I get accomplished? Things I need to work on. Hey, let's map out what we're gonna tackle next week. I am really excited. And then also, as I mentioned, a lot of Q&A. So please do me a favor. I need the fuel to keep this conversation going. I want some hot takes. I want some input from the chat. So let me know what y'all are thinking. If you got any questions, let me know what's up. I want to know. I want to talk to you guys. I want to know, what did you do this week? We're going to start there, and then we're going to crank it over to what we're doing next week. We will talk a little crypto. So, I mean, we're not against it. So if you got some projects you want to talk about, there's some tokens that you're amped up about, there's something you're curious about or not really feeling, let me know. Also, I do got a background in culinary arts and wine. I do a lot of hands-on work myself as well. So avid video game player, toned it down lately, but that's what I do. All right. Now, before I get too far ahead of myself, I would like to see here, give a little shout out to the chat here. And so, first of all, y'all know the rules here. If you are new, say hello so I can drop an hola back at you. We do have, I'm just gonna go through the roll call. Crypto D, Pong M, Justin, Patricio, Meanless, George, Jack Destiny, Fino, Alex G, Digital Acid, DJ and FOMO, Sapien, DD, Chili Rainbow, Jessica, Jason S, and then Crypto Pitbull, Patricio, I think I already said you, Joe John, JRA Fix, however you say that, Crypto Pitbull, Baxter Churchill, Greg Nowalk up in here as well. To all of you, hola! Let's go! Man. I'm amped up today, bro. I am amped up today. Dude, I've been grinding. I have been grinding. Sin City Crypto, we are making moves, okay? My own personal life, I'm just crushing it in the gym lately. I got a beautiful routine, got a little cardio in there like I promised you guys I would throw in. I have been holding myself accountable, trying to open up my relationships. I like to expand my knowledge to people that are ready to hear it. Remember, if people don't want to hear, if people don't want to change and they're stuck in their ways, don't even bother with them. Don't even bother with them. It's a waste of your breath. If somebody's going to the bar and that's all they want to do, you can mention something. Hey, man, stop drinking so much. If they push back and they're like, oh, just let them be. If they put their head down, they're like, I know, man, I need to, like, yeah, that seems like they're being more receptive, right? You don't need to. People need to be ready to change if they're not ready to change. I think that's why a lot of us are here, right? Because we're receptive, you know. Even if you got everything just chugging along, right? You're just knocking things out. You're accomplishing. You're feeling good about yourself. You should still absolutely keep an open mind as to, hey, where are some areas I can improve, or just, hey, like, let me hear what this guy's doing. Maybe he's just crushing it. Maybe I should pay attention or something, right? And so that's my number one recommendation. And of course, I have no script, no structure here. So that is why this show is called Rant and Ramble. We have no idea where this conversation is going to end up. And We also got Kevin B pulling up in here as well last minute. What up? All right, so let me know before we get this show started, what are you guys doing this week? I want to know, what are you guys doing this week? What's on the agenda? We got 48 people in here, so basically 50 people in here. I want to know what is on your plans today, or this week, excuse me. Give me one thing, and it better not be go to work, something you normally doing. You give me one oddball activity you will be doing this week. Let me know. What is it gonna be for me? Let's see here. I got. What am I going to be doing this week? You know, there's a lot of things. I'm probably doing a lot of new things. But my son is back in town. He's been spending time here with me for the summer. I'm Portuguese. That's where the Ola comes from. It's got no H, in case y'all didn't already realize that. It's Portuguese. And it's my son. He came in town. Had him for about a couple months. And I had him go to Portugal to spend time with my family. So I threw him on a plane. I'm like, go have fun. Anyways, he's back. So I'm probably going to spend some time with my son. Maybe go do some other stuff because he doesn't live with me full time. So I try to make the most of the time here. Now, yeah. So what are you guys doing? We got back to school for kids is Jessica. Okay. Back to school time. You know, I went and got my hair cut the other day, and the barber was telling me that back to school is the busiest time for the barbershop. And I didn't realize that. He's like, bro, it's crazy. He's like, if you're a barber, he's like, everybody needs a haircut. The parents, you know, the teachers, all the kids. So just imagine you got and then you can't take a kid to go get his hair. Like as a father, you can't go take your kid to go get his haircut and not get your own haircut, right? So anyways, apparently, and Jason probably will attest to this. I know he's in that that field of work, or at least has been. So what else we got? Jack Destiny says, buying new clothes to impress for a job interview. See, there we go. I like that, man. And you know, a lot of times when it comes to job interviews, and so I was in management for most of my life up until this more recent switch. And, you know, I was in restaurant management, and then I was a chef. And so that's kind of a different style of management than restaurant management. But I have been in a hiring position. And I'll tell you what, we can all sit here and say dress for the job. But when you go to an interview and you got fresh clothes on and you just got that swagger just popping off, you feel good, man. And you know, with confidence, you're like that's probably the number one thing you need to bring to an interview. Well, a resume and confidence. Like you bring those two, like honestly, you could pretty much drop the ball on everything. You can have zero experience. You can, you could have like slept with the boss's like kid or something. Like you can straight just stumble in there. But if you just like come off with confidence, like, did you sleep with the boss's daughter? Like, well, you know, more like she slept with me, you know, but you get what I'm saying? Like if you got confidence, you can just deflect everything. You're just like, get off me. Like, absolutely not. So for me, when I went to an interview, my number one thing I could do to prepare, like outside, like obviously studying, but the number one thing that I did to prepare was I go get the most freshest outfit out there, and I go in and I know I look better than the guy interviewing me. I know I look better than every employee in there. And then like, do I overdress? Hell yeah. And I go in there and I flirt with the lady at the front. Like I'm telling you, just kill it. Just absolutely kill it. So that's what I would say. And now Jason says, if you work in high-end men's salon, back to school rush isn't noticeable. Wow. Yeah, the regular barbershop was the one I went to. Now I just want to say I can pull people up in the chat, especially if you give your boy some straight badass comments like Rob. That's awesome. Awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Then we got when altcoin season. Well, you know what? That's a great topic there. I think we're gonna cover that here in a second. And then what else we got? Crypto Pitbull is making pickles. You know, the other day I went to a sushi restaurant, and I love me like a nice cucumber salad. And I think it's very refreshing. It's light, doesn't fill you up. It's a good little starter. And usually they got a like nice little marinade on those. Anyways, man, they had this so much vinegar in this thing and it had been sitting for so long. It wasn't even cucumber salad. It was literally just a bowl of relish. Like it was just a bowl of pickles. And I'm like, yo, I know y'all can't just have this. This recipe can't be right. Like this is literally a bowl of relish. This cannot be right. I'm sorry. Y'all done messed up on this one. All right, so just a side note on that. If you got any cooking questions or food questions, please put them in the chat as well. And hold on, we only got 27 likes in here, so let's get this thing pumping up. We got a 50% like ratio. Are you not entertained? I feel like I brought the juice to start, and if the problem is that, then I'm just gonna have to play some music, get this thing going, get the vibe up in here, smash the like button, drop a hola in the chat. Let's see if we can get 50 holas. Yeah. Now, Baxter Churchill says, the one thing I hate about job interviews is the lowball offer. Here's the thing. You usually don't get an offer. You normally don't get an offer in the interview, right? Usually they say, well, we'll contact you. So if they contact you and offer you a job, then at that point, the ball is in your court, right? Now, if you're talking salary within the interview, you know, I would, that one's so hard. It's just like playing back and forth. You know, they're going to try to like get you the smallest amount possible. You know, there are different tricks that you can use to get them to pay more. And, you know, you can always like, don't be afraid to say that you're a hot commodity, right? I think a lot of people are scared. A lot of people go into an interview and they want the person interviewing them to think that this is the only interview they've gone to in the last 2 years. Like, you got to scratch that mentality. I go into an interview, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Oh, good, man. You know, I'm just lining these interviews up. I'm super excited to be out here on the job market again. This was at the top of the list of places I want to visit. There are a couple other spots I want to check out, but you know, out of the group, I really appreciate you guys. You know, you stick that seed in their head right now, like right when you walk in. You know, you say it all hella nonchalant, so that way they like, okay, this guy, he's in demand, he's a commodity, and it also it's a testament to you. Like, if I want a job, like I'm hungry, you know, I'm gonna apply for 15, 20 jobs, right? Well, if that's the case, then would you rather hire somebody that went for 15, 20 jobs and going to 10 interviews this week, 5 interviews next week? Now, yeah, you would rather hire that person than the one guy that was just sitting on his couch eating Cheetos, apply for one job, and then that was it, right? So, anyways. Now, Crypto Brad says, lying on a resume. I wouldn't lie on a resume, but just juice it up, right? If you're the warehouse manager, leave warehouse out of there. Put the company name. Put like hi, you know what I'm saying? Like just juice yourself up. And then honestly, like a lot of times people forget that your job, your resume, your job history, even as mundane as it is, like a lot of times, like those are fucking hard jobs, and you gotta put in a lot of work there at those places. And a lot of people try to short sell it, like, yeah, I was assistant manager. Like, yo, man, you know what? Like, own that shit, man. Like, pop up, be like, hey, man, I was assistant manager. I was number 2 in there. I was like, they gave me responsibilities that offloaded by the manager. So, you know, I was trying to, you know, not only handle my own job responsibilities, but this as well. And I was trying to expand and drive motivation for the team. Like, that's how you should, that's like, don't ever think that you ain't adequate. And so for my thing is, it's like, me personally, I don't need to lie on a resume because my resume is straight stacked. But you could give my resume to somebody else and they could feel inadequate. They'd be like, yeah, I did work here, you know, it was only 6 months though. Like, it's how you communicate, how you pop that out. All right, let's get into a little bit of crypto real quick before we get too far ahead of ourselves. All right, so Let's see here. We got Bitcoin doing its normal thing, trading at 29,000. Let's get this camera going here. Damn, it's hot up in my house. I need to turn my AC up. All right, so we got Bitcoin, $29,378. A little movement in the 24 hours. This looks a little bit more volatile than it is. 29.4, 29.3. Not too much movement. Same thing on the week. Really just a nice consolidation, just waiting for a big breakout. And let's see here on the rest of the markets. Not too much movement. Everything is flat. I mean, look, 0.1% on the 24 hours, 0.1, like nothing, 0.06. Everything is like literally everybody's just sitting at the beach on the Sunday. Everybody's barbecuing right now. Ain't nobody trading. So that's what the markets are saying. There are a couple losers. The Bone and Shiba Inu ecosystem is down. Now it did have a significant rally. SHIB is still up 11%, but Bone is down 10% on the weekly. And so I think a lot of people were hyping up Bone because of the upgrades coming out on SHIB, but Bone is leading the day on the pullback at 8%, but really not too much. I mean, outside of these 5 here, everything is 1% and less. So really not too much red in the markets. Thorchain up 11%. I'm not really sure what's going on in the Thorchain ecosystem. I didn't get a chance to look it over, but Thor, Ton, and Pepe, Mina all up as well. So just to there as well. Now, in case no surprise here, but Celsius announces app shutdown. It was kind of comical that you could go on there and see how much your tokens were, how much money you were earning on your tokens, and that was and it's kind of comical, right? Your funds are frozen, but if you're staking, you're still earning passive income that you couldn't get out, and so they're finally closing the app. And I think this is a long time coming. Should have closed a long time ago, but it is what it is. Also, not to mention, Alex Mashinsky is going to jail. Him and Sam Bankman-Fried, dude. Like, I can't believe this dude's got his bail revoked. I don't have an article pulled up on that, but we'll talk about it here in a second. But before we do, we'll just go ahead and talk about that now. So you got Sam Bankman-Fried. For those of you that missed out on this, he went to a bail hearing, or he went to court, and he was being accused of witness tampering. He was also using VPNs again, which he was distinctly told he shouldn't. He was like apparently spying on some girl that was at a basketball game and watching the basketball game, and this is already after he had went to court and had to address the fact that he got caught using a VPN to watch the playoffs for the NFL with an NFL Sunday Ticket, and when he wasn't supposed to be using the internet. And there's only so many chances. And on Friday we discussed this on our show, me and David, and we're like, hey man, he's got a lawyer team, tens of millions of dollars. But at some point, if you keep snubbing your finger, you keep snubbing your nose at the judge, then at some point they're just gonna be like, nah, you know what? You're trying to make a mockery of this court. You're trying to make a mockery of this justice system. Obviously, you don't take anything seriously, and you're just out of control. And if you're out on bail and you are already an accused, of all the things that he's accused of doing, I don't want to say he's a convicted criminal, but all the things that he's accused of doing, obviously he could be a danger to society. They're just telling this dude to stay off the damn internet because, hey, your scams have been run on the internet. That's how you've amassed the corporation that you had. That's how you frauded so many people, was using the internet and your platform and connections. And he's doing the same thing. And he's already warned about it. He's like, yo, stop using VPNs to watch freaking football games. And then out and about, you're out there doing it again. And so Sam Bankman-Fried pulls up into court, and you know what? The judge just got pissed and was like, "I don't care." But at some point, it doesn't matter how much money you got. If you're over here acting a damn fool, it doesn't matter if you're a famous football player. It doesn't matter if you're Sam Bankman-Fried, a mogul, politician. If you just are blatantly disrespectful and are just not paying attention, there's going to be consequences. And dude, hey, he's going to go back to jail. Bail revoked. Bail revoked. Let me see if I can find an article. I don't think is he in jail now? I forget. I know. Let's see if dude's in jail now. So I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole thing? Sam Bankman-Fried. So here we go. Judge revokes bail. And so, yeah, he's immediately remanded into custody of U.S. Marshals. You can see here. And so, yeah, they revoked his bail, man. And so, yeah, he's sitting in jail right now. And he's been detained and tried. Yeah. Kind of crazy, huh? So that means his court case isn't going to start. I don't know exactly when his court case is supposed to start, but I mean, he's going to be in jail for a while. Which, that's sucks for him, right? Because he's probably going to go to jail for, I'd say, at least 4 years. He could spend his entire life in jail if, given all the minimum sentences with all the charges. I don't know if he'll get that. But I think it's safe to say that, or at least in my opinion, he's going to do at least a few years, right? At least 4 years. And if the court case doesn't even start for another, say, 6 months to a year, it's going to drag out. This dude, he's going to be sitting in jail for the next 2 years before he finds out, like, if he's guilty or not, which he more than likely will be. And then you're going to tag on another 4, another 10, another 40. Dude, just don't get it, man. Some people just don't get it, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We got SBF. He says, "I'm here." Funny. Now, I don't know. All right, so I do want to mention on the next topic of discussion. We have a former SEC official says spot Bitcoin ETF coming after 2024. And here's why. I actually think that is probably likely. I think so John Reed here, or John Reed Stark, he does make a point that he thinks it's going to be after the next presidential election, which would be late 2024. I don't see that happening, in my personal opinion, because of the BlackRock situation. They're going to have to make a decision on that, on the BlackRock ETF. I think it is in March. And so with that said, I think it will be in 2024. I just think it'll be in Q1 of 2024, in my personal opinion. Now, but he does bring up some interesting talking points here. And this was in one of his interviews or letters. Now, the former SEC official John Reed Stark has recently spoken on the current developments that the SEC won't approve the spot Bitcoin ETF anytime soon. However, he does believe that the tides could change post-U.S. presidential election in 2024. So he's saying that in November, December of 2024, which would mean that this gentleman thinks that we're going to get a denial on the BlackRock because they'll have to make a decision by then. Now, John Reed Stark believes that Republican president in 2024 would improve the odds of a spot Bitcoin ETF. The former SEC official also cites SEC comments letter from Better Markets, which highlights the issue of current state of spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, John Reed mentions that the issue concerning crypto regulations have become partisan at the SEC. Interestingly, he also notes that the SEC crackdown began under Republican-appointed SEC Chair Jay Clayton. He was the one who filed that Ripple lawsuit just days before leaving the before leaving his position. So There were a couple outcomes, some expected outcomes from a U.S. presidential win. So let's just say the Republicans win the next presidential election. A couple things that John Reed Stark was suggesting might happen here were drastically reduced crypto enforcement endeavors, likely focusing on fraud cases and moving away from charging registration breaches like failure to register an exchange, broker dealer, or crypto firm for trading platform. Basically, hey, let's stop just saying you need to come in and register, and you need to, if you're going to have your staking services, you need to register as this kind of platform. And so basically, let's just get rid of all of that. Let's make things a little bit more simple. Let's make it easier to come in and register. Now, the second point he made was showing greater openness to approving a spot Bitcoin ETF and adopting other crypto-friendly regulations. Now, I mean, there might be something to it. I know a lot of these traditional finance have discussed the possible ETF and its potential, and they still, I think the most I've heard was like 60 or 65% likelihood of it passing. And so that still leaves a 35 or say 30 to 40% likelihood that it does just simply get denied. I mean, I think we've become complacent in our assessment that Bitcoin ETF is a foregone conclusion that where it's going to pass because of BlackRock, their name, their track record. But you know, at the same time, if you look at the other side of the coin, the track record with the SEC is that they just have not given any wiggle room on this spot Bitcoin ETF, and that they've just straight denied application after application. I think we're at like 20 of them, I think it was. I don't know the exact number of how many have been denied. So I'll just leave it there. Now, a little shout out to some of the new people here as well. If you are new, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. We have Tony C in here, Drain the Swamp as well, Kyle D, SBF, I'm a Girl, and who else? Jack Destiny's in here. Trying to see who else is checked in here. All right, so to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Now, let's get a little bit more music going here. Let's see. There we go. All right. So that about wraps up the crypto segment. Which brings me on to my next segment, where I just talk about personal growth and and all that stuff. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna bring the heat today, bro. If you want to hear more about crypto, it is time to tune out. But if you want to hear a man possessed with success and is just kind of full of thoughts right now, you want to stay tuned for this. And also hit the like button. We got May B died. So bad at pronunciation. To you. Hola! It says morning all. So there you go. All right. So for those of you that are new here, I think most of us might have tuned in for a Sunday Rant and Ramble, but it's called Rant and Ramble because I just am all over the place and it won't stop talking. And with that said, I'm just gonna give you the quick version here. I got into crypto because I was failing financially. I didn't have enough money. I'm looking for fast ways to make money. I'm like, hey, I need what I'm doing now doesn't work, right? I got a career, I got a job. I'm a chef. I'm climbing up the ladder. But you know what? I'm 30 something years old and I am still making below medium salary. I'm working 13, 14 hours a day. My family situation, kids, it's a disaster because, well, I'm never home. And on top of that, I just don't make that much money. It sucks, right? And then I get taxed to death, not only by the government, but also by the banks, because, hey, overdraft, $30. Hey, whatever it is. Borrow money, get hit with, those payday loans. The system is designed for you to take on as much debt and stress and leverage as much of your life as you can, and then keep you on the breaking point. And then the government just comes in and they're like, oh, we'll bail you out. Here. No, you're good. You can file bankruptcy. We'll start again. We're just going to kind of do a hard reset. You're still going to mess up your credit, so you're in a worse spot than you were before, but we're going to clear your debt so that way you can acquire more without fundamentally changing anything. And it's like the whole damn system is designed for you to just barely get by, right? I mean, you're barely getting by. That's what the system is. And that's what I was in. And so two things happened to me, right? When I got into crypto, two things. Number one, well, first of all, a lot of things happened. Okay. But a few major points here, right? Number one, money started working for me. If you don't invest and don't do anything with your money, I was talking to somebody last night, and we were talking about money, and I was talking about, hey, I had a car and I was replacing tires on this thing, right? And I was just going to Walmart. And so what I was doing is I was buying the cheapest tires, $35, right? And I wouldn't change all 4 tires at once. I'd wait till one of them blew out. I buy a $35 tire. I throw that thing on there. And then, 6 months later, another tire will blow, put another $35 on there. And at the time, which is funny, is that I got the stick shift car, a Chevy. It's a beater. I got 4 different Walmart tires that are all like hella cheap. And all the while, I'm still making a 6-figure salary, right? I'm making like $150,000 a year, driving a beater with some Bobo freaking tires on this thing. And the person tells me, like, well, you were being smart with your money. And, or a lot of wealthier people are smart with their money. And I thought to myself, and I'm like, well, that's a compliment. But then I thought about it. I was like, no, actually, I don't really think that's the case, because everybody's going to spend money on something else, right? So if I decide to spend money on my tire, not spend money on my tires, then what else am I spending money on? My alcohol? Am I spending money on my backyard? Like where's that money going? And so it doesn't really matter. Or you even have it in your savings. Like, say you have a savings account, you put it there. All of this essentially is the same thing, right? If you're where are you parking your money? So it really doesn't matter. The only time things change is if your money is making you money. If your money ain't making you money, then it doesn't matter. You can't go over there and give some guy some flack for buying a $700 Gucci belt, and then you go and buy a car that's $400 more a month than you should be spending. You got a $1,200 car payment, talking about you're being financially responsible and making fun of the guy that's spending the Gucci belt. It's all equivalent. So it doesn't matter. And if you got it in your savings account, you're just losing purchasing power. You're not doing anything with it. And eventually you're going to have to draw on it and use it for something in life. So at the end of the day, unless the money you have is being used to multiply more money, it's all equally dumb. It's all being burned in the same way. It's all inefficient, and you're just literally just collecting and spending. It's in and out. That's it. There is a couple exceptions. I would say education. You can burn your money on education, like say school. You can burn your money on books, literature, classes. But outside of a very few exceptions, whatever money you're bringing in, unless you're actively using that money to multiply, then, and even with education, you can make an argument that you're using that money to multiply. I pay for my education now. I know on the back end it's going to increase my salary. So even that exception, it still ties back to the fact that you're using it to multiply, right? And so don't sit here and think that you're better, savvier, smarter than other people if you're literally not investing in anything. Now, it doesn't have to be stocks and crypto. It could be investing in a business, investing in yourself. It could be investing in commodities that are going to outperform the rest of the market, collectibles, whatever it is. You should have some portion of your income should be going to a broader, multiplying of cash, a broader idea, right? You should have something. Otherwise, you're just living paycheck to paycheck. And you could be putting stuff in the savings account, but I mean, what's that for? You get divorced, she takes half, he takes half, whatever it is. Oh, hey, somebody got terminally sick. You need to pay for these bills. Somebody needs to go to here or there, whatever it is. Like, that is just a liquid account that you got sitting on the side that will eventually be drained. And if you think that's not the case, you're mistaken. Remember, I said I was going to make this one short. That was a very long introduction to why I do this segment. All right, so now, usually I harp on the fact that you can spend less money, make more money, so that way you have this disposable income to reinvest or to invest in yourself. But with that said, a lot of times you need to look at your own productivity. You need to look inward. You need to look at like how effective and dominant and what does my game plan look like? Because if you just get in a car and don't know where the hell you're going, you're just going to end up burning gas and burning time without a destination. Now, you don't have to have the final destination in mind when you're moving across country, right? You can sit here and say, hey, I want to go to California, right? Or I want to move out of my small town. You don't have to say, I'm going to California. I'm going to work for this law firm. I'm going to get an apartment here. Sometimes you just need a general direction, right? You just need something to aim for. And I think that is what is lacking in so many people, or at least it was lacking in myself for so long, is that I was just missing some overall like general direction, like a compass, right? Like I don't need to know exactly where I'm going, but just point me north, get me out of this. Like, it is like summer is coming. I need to migrate north, man, or south, or whatever it is. Like, I just need a direction. And so you don't need to know what law firm or what apartment building you're going to go to, but you just know you need change and you want to go that way. Then pick a couple things in that direction and go. Start making some progress. And then your map or your vision or your direction, it will constantly change. It'll constantly change. There will be these little moments that pop up that are just that are so insignificant. They're so small, and you got to be ready for them because they come at you out of nowhere, and they seem like nothing at first, and then end up being the most impactful moments of your life. And a lot of these things, they just get dismissed so easily. Like when I started this YouTube channel, when this first kicked off, I was just having breakfast. It was another day, and I was sitting on a couch and I was watching another crypto YouTube, and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, this quality of this show is trash. I'm like, I don't want to throw the channel out there, but they had blankets over the windows. It was just, and looking at the amount of money that they were bringing in, the amount of the community that were behind them, take some pride in what you do. And I looked at this situation, and my wife was sitting there next to me, and I start just pointing out the obvious. I'm like, why don't they give a damn? Why don't they like put a little bit of effort into their stage or their studio? And then my wife looks at me, and when I tell her, I'm like, man, I could do that. And she tells me, she's like, well, why don't you? And I'm like, I could. She was like, you should. And then I thought about it, and I knew I could. And then that's when my direction popped in, right? That's when I saw the destination that I wanted to go to. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I didn't even know who the hell I was going to do it with. I had no idea. So I'm sitting here on a couch. I'm making fun of a YouTube channel. I'm complaining to my wife. I'm like, this looks like trash. I'm like, I can do better. She was like, well, do better. And I was like, okay, I can. She's like, I know. And I'm like, I can. And she was like, well, do it. And I looked her in the eyes and I was like, be careful what you ask for, because I will lose myself in this whole project. And I will spend every minute of my day putting all my energy into this. You know, I'm gonna spend way too much money on this damn thing. And she just laughed and was like, go ahead. And that's how our channel started. Picked up the phone, called my boy David. I'm like, yo, let's do this damn thing, man. But the morals of that is not to tell you how Sin City Crypto started. The moral of that conversation is to say that that was a regular morning. That was a day I woke up half tired, unmotivated, no direction, not knowing what I'm gonna do, just been stumbling through life this whole damn time, and I'm sitting here having breakfast, complaining about YouTube. And if I had just decided not to have that small conversation, if I had decided not to just to point out some eyesores, if I would have just sat there and ate my damn yogurt without engaging in that conversation at that moment, the entire course of my life would be completely different. I wouldn't be here and you'd be doing something different. And so where I'm trying to get at is that, one, you need to be prepared for change, because it's going to come subtle packages. A subtle package is something so insignificant. It's gonna be some handshake, or some person you meet, or some road trip, or some day that you call out of work because you're sick and you go down to the coffee shop to go get some hot coffee, makes you feel better. It's gonna be some random set of events that you stumble on that dramatically change your life. You need to be ready for that. You need to be ready for whatever God throws at you, because it's gonna seem so inconspicuous. And I can go through all of the major events in my life, and and if you analyze and you sit back and you think about it, they all come with these small little events that grow into something so beautiful. And it's crazy, man. It's nuts to me. But now if you go through life and you're upset and you're complaining and you're down and you're just frustrated, like, those moments are gonna come. They're gonna be right in front of you, and you're not even gonna act on it. That chain of events ain't gonna happen because you decided to sleep in. The chain of events isn't gonna happen because you're like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here and watch TV instead of meeting up with my friends for whatever it is, or some work event. Or maybe I read an article that spurs a thought. And so without those small opportunities, without being ready for them mentally, being receptive, having an overall path and vision, you're just going to be stuck in that same circle. And I'm telling you, we've been programmed to think that, we've been programmed to believe that you just go to your job, you make somewhere between 45,000 and 150,000. No matter where on that scale you're at, you're still barely getting by, right? So you make that. You make 45,000 a year to 150,000 a year. If you're at the 150,000 a year, everybody that's at the 40,000, the 60,000, they're like, oh man, you got such a great job. You're so lucky. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're not. You're stuck. You're stuck. You climbed up a few rungs of a ladder that is at the bottom of a well, and there's a well. It's thousands of feet tall, and you're just slowly climbing. You're so far away from getting out. You have to think so far outside the box to break out, because 1% of the population controls 99% of the money. It's not just about the money. It's also the control, the power, the image, the success. Like, it's all of that. It's a small fraction of the people that have everything that you want. But that small percentage of the people have broken the code, right? They've gotten out of the system. They figured out, like, hey, going in, clocking in and out, we're doing this 40 hours and 401k, that doesn't work. How many people worked a 20-year job and are driving Lamborghinis? I'm not saying that they need it. I'm not saying that that's I'm not saying that that's the go-to item for success. But think about it. Those luxury goods are reserved for people that break out of the traditional mindset. So you will not have a mansion. You will not have nice cars. You will not be at the pinnacle of your success by working a 40-hour-a-week job. You're not. It's just the reality of the situation. Now, I'm not saying you won't feel fulfilled. I'm not saying that you won't have a career that you're passionate about. But if you want to be in that 1%, boy, you got to break that. You got to break everything. Everyone's got to look at you like you're insane. You know how many people looked at me when I told them I was starting a YouTube channel? They looked at me like I was stupid. Now I make more money than a lot of people with a YouTube channel that is still significantly small. It's a testament to how breaking the mold of what people deem as the right path, you break that, that's how you get out, right? If you want to make more money than the 99% of everybody else, then I don't know. I don't know, man. Just don't be complacent. Aim for something. Aim for direction. Have fun doing it. Even though times get hard, just do something great, man. Leave this fucking planet with something behind. Don't let the casket fucking close, and so does the book. So does the speech. You wanna be remembered in a few conversations? You wanna be remembered for a few conversations? Do you wanna not you leave this planet and then every 3 weeks somebody says, oh yeah, you know, he was a good guy, right? He was nice. He had a really cool grill. He did a really good barbecue. Man, you know, he put in 20 years. He was the hardest worker at the warehouse. Brother, if you were put on this earth just to be a 20-year employee and to get a fucking a pat on the back and to have a nice backyard, like, you are missing it, man. Like, it is time to fucking wake up. Do something that is lasting. Like, what is your last name? What is your last name? Have it be remembered for longer than you are here. Or at least try. God damn. At least try. At least try, right? Don't be on your deathbed saying, well, I didn't really try. Kind of sucks. So Wise Tree says he'll be out in Come on by. Love to have you by. I have so much I want to say and so much I want to do, so much I want to change. And I was lazy for so long, and I was useless for so long. And I feel like I'm so behind on everything I want to achieve that I'm trying to do it as fast and as possible. I don't know how much time I got on this earth, and I just want to burn down as much shit as I can. And then you got music, man. Listen to some music, bro. Listen to some music. I think people sometimes they listen to the same songs over and over again, but when you find music that like it can tell a story, right? And I do this often, you know. I just like say like, this isn't the same thing, but it's truth, right? If you're looking for motivation, you're looking for something. I don't know what the hell you're looking for, but you put on some music that tells a story, has emotion. It spurs thoughts, right? Gets your brain thinking, you know? All right. Well, guys, I think that's gonna be it. The Rant Ramble was exactly that. Just a lot of up and downs, right? I'm so excited. So excited for today, man. It's gonna be a good day. Gonna go to the gym, spend some time with the family. You are special. As corny as that sounds, you're special. Don't forget that. And if you don't think you can do it, cut that shit out. You want to do it, do it. Whatever it is. Job, girl, guy, family, gym. Just get it done. Ladies, gentlemen, I will be wrapping this up. It was a pleasure as always. I got some shit to do. So, till next week, I will see you guys Monday, tomorrow. We got Mance Harmon from Hedera coming on the show. Super excited about that. If you're a Hedera fan, come check it out. Or just come support the boys at Sin City Crypto. We'll have David, Rocco, live show, same time, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern. It's going to be a banger next week, guys. Peace.